The beeping machines in the ICU were the only sounds Maria could hear as she pressed her palm against the glass wall, staring at her little boy. Daniel looked so small, so fragile, buried under wires and tubes. His chest rose and fell weakly, his lips pale. She wiped her tears quickly as the doctor approached. "Mrs. Lopez, drive," Reynolds said carefully. "Your son needs an immediate blood transfusion. His blood type is extremely rare. Without it, we won't be able to stabilize him." Maria's heart pounded in her chest. "Then take mine. Please, test me. I don't care what it takes. He's all I have." The nurse drew her blood while Maria whispered prayers under her breath. Minutes later, the results came back. The nurse's sympathetic eyes said everything before her mouth did. "I'm so sorry," she said softly. "You're not a match." Maria's legs gave way, and she clutched the chair to steady herself. No, test again. There has to be a mistake." "Doctor," Reynolds sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "We ran it twice. I know this is devastating, but your blood won't help him. He needs a very specific type, one that's almost impossible to find quickly." Maria collapsed into the chair, her sobs filling the sterile hallway. She had no family left. Her parents were gone, her siblings far away, and she had raised Daniel alone since his father abandoned them. Now, when he needed her most, she was powerless. "Doctor," she begged, clutching his coat sleeve, "please, there must be someone. Search the registry. Call every hospital, every bank. He can't." Her voice cracked. "He can't die like this." "Doctor," Reynolds hesitated, glancing at the clipboard in his hand. His expression shifted as he read a highlighted note in the hospital's confidential donor list. "There is one match." Maria's head snapped up, her eyes wide with desperate hope. "Who? Tell me. I'll do anything. Just, please." The doctor looked conflicted. "It's not so simple. The match belongs to a private donor. He's not family, not connected to you in any way. He's a man who guards his life and time very closely. In fact, I doubt he even knows his blood type is this rare." Maria gripped his arm tighter. "Then call him. I don't care who he is, call him. If he's Daniel's only chance, I'll beg on my knees if I have to." "Doctor," Reynolds gave her a long, searching look before nodding gravely. He picked up the phone, his fingers hovering over the keypad. "His name is Alexander Grant, the CEO of Grant Enterprises." Maria blinked, stunned. She had heard of him. Everyone had. A man with limitless wealth, untouchable power, and a reputation for being cold, calculating, and distant. He lived in a world galaxies away from hers. The doctor dialed the number with trembling hands. "I just hope," he muttered, more to himself than to her, "that he answers, and that he says yes." The automatic doors slid open with a hiss, and the air in the hospital seemed to shift. Every nurse, every patient, every onlooker turned their heads as a tall, commanding man strode in, his presence impossible to ignore. His tailored suit didn't belong in the fluorescent-lit halls of a hospital. His sharp jawline and piercing gaze carried an aura of authority that made people step aside without a word. Maria rose shakily from her chair. Her heart pounded as she realized who he was, Alexander Grant, the CEO whose name dominated the headlines, a man known more for hostile takeovers than compassion. "Doctor," Reynolds hurried forward. "Mr. Grant, thank you for coming. I know this is highly unusual." Alexander raised a hand, silencing him. His voice was calm, controlled, but edged with steel. "You said it was urgent. Who needs me?" Maria's lips trembled as she stepped closer. "My son. It's my son. He's only 7. The doctors say you're the only match. Please." Her voice broke, and tears spilled down her cheeks. "Please save him." For a long moment, Alexander's expression was unreadable. His dark eyes flicked from Maria's desperate face to the small, fragile figure lying behind the ICU glass. Daniel's tiny chest rose and fell with the help of machines. Something shifted in him. For the first time, the mask of indifference cracked. He saw not just a boy fighting for life, but a reflection of a memory that haunted him, a memory of a little sister he once couldn't save. "Prepare the transfusion," Alexander said firmly, already shrugging off his suit jacket and rolling up his crisp white sleeve. Maria gasped, pressing her hand over her mouth. "You'll do it, you'll really." "I didn't come here to waste time," he interrupted, his tone brusque but his actions gentle as he settled into the donor chair. "Hook me up." The nurse hurriedly set up the equipment, attaching the needle with careful precision. Maria stood at the side, her hands clasped tightly as if praying. She couldn't stop watching him. This man, a stranger from a world so far removed from hers, was bleeding himself for her son. As the transfusion began, Maria whispered, "I don't know how to thank you. You're a miracle to us." Alexander didn't look at her at first. His gaze was locked on Daniel, as if silently willing the boy to fight. Then, in a low voice, he spoke. "Don't thank me. Years ago, someone I loved needed this, and I wasn't there in time. I'll never forget that feeling. I won't let it happen again, not if I can stop it." Tears blurred Maria's vision. She wanted to say something, anything, but no words felt big enough. So instead, she sank into the chair beside him, her hand brushing his arm in silent gratitude. Minutes ticked by, and slowly, color began returning to Daniel's face. The pale blue tinge on his lips faded. His chest rose a little stronger. The monitors beeped with steadier rhythms. Maria's knees gave out, and she dropped to the floor, sobbing into her hands. "Thank you, God, thank you." Alexander glanced at her, his jaw tight, but his eyes softened. He leaned back in the chair, pale from the blood loss but composed. "He'll live," he said simply. Maria looked up at him through her tears. "Why would a man like you do this for people like us?" He met her gaze, his voice quiet but steady. "Because sometimes, money and power mean nothing. Sometimes, saving one life means everything." In that moment, Maria realized that the cold, unreachable CEO wasn't cold at all. He was a man carrying his own scars, his own pain, and perhaps, through saving her son, he had begun to heal a part of himself, too. Maria clasped her hands together, whispering through her tears, "Please, God. Don't let him say no."